It's time to go beyond the barometer now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Cannalte. We're talking about the heat index might not be so bad because the dew point and relative humidity might be, well, whatever they are. It's going to be drier.
Yeah, people get the dew point and relative humidity really mixed up, and they're both ways of measuring how much moisture there is in the air. So let's start out by taking a look at what the difference is between the two. So the relative humidity is the amount of moisture compared to the amount of moisture that the air can hold at that temperature. So when the humidity is 100%, you have fog, you might have rain, precipitation, regardless of what the temperature is. The dew point is the temperature at which the relative humidity is 100%. So, the dew point could be 70, the dew point could be 30, but at that point, if the temperature and the dew point are exactly the same, the relative humidity is 100%. The temperature can never be below the dew point, because otherwise the humidity would be greater than 100%, and the air can't hold more moisture than it can at any temperature. So the higher the dew point, the more moisture there is in the air. And so that's important because when the temperatures are warmer, the air can hold a lot more moisture. And so you'll feel humid even though the relative humidity may not be 100%. And here, let's take a look at what we have here. So this is the forecast for Sunday morning. Dew point temperature early in the morning, 6 a.m., expected to be 58 degrees. Relative humidity is 65%. Remember, on Sunday, we're looking for a high temperature in the mid-90s. So the dew point about the same, maybe a couple degrees higher, but notice the relative humidity. It drops to 34%. So the air is humid, but the relative humidity is low because the temperature is high and the air can hold a lot of moisture. Same thing Monday. Relative humidity, 66% in the morning with a dew point of 58. Dew point, again, lower 60s in the afternoon. Relative humidity drops to 37%. We actually have a little more moisture in the air in the afternoon than we do in the morning, but the relative humidity, the percentage of how much that air will hold, is lower. Monday, even more dramatic. 71 dew point early in the morning. Notice the relative humidity, 86%, because we're pretty close to the actual temperature, whereas with a high temperature of 92 expected and a dew point of 67, relative humidity drops to 46%. So, during the summertime, really, you look at the dew point to tell you how humid you feel. So when you get those dew points up above 65, everybody's noticing the humidity. 70 degrees or higher, then you're really humid, and get above 75, and then you're talking about tropical weather. So let's come back on camera. I'll show you a little demonstration here. So I have a couple of glasses. I have a small one. This represents how much moisture the air would hold at about 30 degrees, and this represents how much the air would hold at 85 degrees. It just so happens that there will be 7 of these that could fit into the bigger glass.
Okay.
So if I take some water here and I pour it into the 30-degree temperature, this is how much the air will hold at 30 degrees.
No more. It can't hold any more.
Can't hold any more. So that's a relative humidity of 100% at 30 degrees. However, you take that same amount of moisture, you warm it up to 85 degrees, that's only about 15% of the glass. So the relative humidity would be 15%. The same amount of moisture, but notice it's a lot. That's why during the wintertime, you bring cold air in and you warm it up. The humidity drops. That's why you have to have a humidifier. And so,
See,
keep that in mind.
that makes sense to me.
So,
I need the visual.
That's the difference between the two.
And the dew point is it's the air mass. It's just like a temperature.
Right. The higher the dew point, the more moisture there is in the air. You notice that more in the
summer. And that
summer.
changes as the weather changes.
Right.
This explains it all.
Little cup versus big cup.
There you go.
Skol.
It's a little cup this weekend.
All right.
Thank you,
Chug a lot,
Gary.
Gary.
You're welcome.